Good afternoon, everybody. Christopher Mader, the Meat and Potato Show, conservative talk and awesome rock. I'm here at Holy Name Catholic High School. Figured I'd do a follow-up. Today's the 28th of October. Do a follow-up on my my talk that I gave on the 25th to the John Birch Society about wind power. I had mentioned about this wind turbine. I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. I'll turn around and focus it on. One of the things I had spoken about is that the use of personal wind power, it's a great idea. You know, put solar panels on top of your buildings, put wind power on your own property, you want to power your farm, your business, or whatever. It does make a large difference. But you got to understand, as I said in the John Birch speech, these things are industrial sites. This is just one tower, one turbine. And one of the things, you can probably hear it behind my talking here, you can hear the sound of the tower. I'm going to be quiet here, and I'm going to point the camera just so you can hear. This is one tower, one tower. That base cell up there, rectangular housing. It's about the size of a school bus or a city bus. The nose cone up there, it's about the size of a nose cone of, like, you know, a jet fighter, maybe a commercial airliner. The wingtips, the blades, well over 150 feet long. And this is a different type of nacelle setup too, is that this one actually moves with the wind. So as the wind changes direction, the nacelle spins around. Now here's the scary thing. It's right next to a school. You can see the school right there. I mean, if something would happen, we're up on top of a hill here. We're off of Granite Street here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Well, it gets pretty windy up here. If something were to happen to that tower, you know, we better just pray that it doesn't fall on the school. I also want you to look at the size of the foundation here. We're looking at an area roughly 50 to 50 feet across, 50-50. There's a transformer right there, converts the power. Look at the size of just the tower itself, the base of it. I mean, that's got to be a good 10, 12 feet across. Look at the size of the black bolts that hold it down. This concrete pad probably goes about 20, 30 feet down into the ground. Just look at the size of that. I'm going to pan the camera up. You just hear that sound. Now imagine if you were living somewhere and there were like 200 or 300 of these. Or even just 20 or 30 of them. Unbelievable, huh? Imagine if you had to hear that sound. Again, these things aren't parks. These things aren't, you know, these environmental solutions to, you know, our consumption of fossil fuels. You saw all the concrete. You saw all the metal, the steel. All that has to be produced with fossil fuel. These things are industrial sites. And again, this is relatively private property. I'm probably trespassing, actually. You know, this is Holy Name Catholic School. So they probably put this up to help power the school. And again, that's admirable. And it is kind of out of the way. It's just the school property. There really aren't any real homes around here. Over, just beyond the hill over there is the Broad Meadowbrook Wildlife Sanctuary. There's all forest back here. So, I mean, this thing is kind of relatively out of sight. There we go. There's our wind tower right here in Worcester, Massachusetts. This thing could be seen all over the city, too. You know, you got a good vantage point from one of the other hills here in Worcester. You can see the whole thing. Christopher Mader, the Meat and Potato Show. Conservative talk and awesome rock. Thanks, guys.